Hey everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube video. So we are on the road headed to Virginia. We are at our first stop of the day, which so happens to be the Catawba River Antique Mall here in North Carolina. So this was actually earlier this week. My mother and I are headed to Virginia to visit family for Thanksgiving, but of course we gotta stop in a few antique stores along the way, and this one we had never been into. It was a pretty decent sized guy. They had some great display cases in the front of the store filled with so many figurines. And some of them were pretty well priced and some of them were about retail. Honestly, I didn't bother because when I'm on these road trips, I'm really not trying to pick up too many fragile items. But you guys know I love my vintage ceramics and such, so it was hard not to pick up more. As you can see, they did have some newer bits and pieces in this place with like kind of a farmhouse boutique, some old cars, which are always really fun. Honestly, I don't ever pay attention to the model cars, but I am really keen on going to vintage car shows. Those are absolutely awesome to see in life. First, obviously, as you can see, I see a bin of dolls. So I'm gonna go through that, see if there are any older, rarer finds I can flip. But on the right, I do see so many old new stock Barbies, mostly from the 90s from what I can tell, but a lot of fun. Again, mostly marked about retail. As we pan on over, there's a bunch of Tupperware, and of course, you guys know I am on the hunt for Christmas kitsch, so I am looking for anything red, white, and green. And of course, some littles to craft with as well. But I do spot some Christmas kitsch. The only thing I really spot in this booth turned out to be this little angel with the nylon wings. She was about $7, but I did notice her nylon wings were gone, only the wire were remaining. All right, and I know I kind of got excited in this video, so I hope my camera work is steady enough for you guys. I did, however, spot this vintage dog. I thought he was in a vinyl material. He was not, but did spot that groovy 60s, 70s gal figurine. Some more Christmas kitsch. I actually found this cute little pink deer. Granted, this I do believe came out in Target like a year ago, but they are honestly on the harder to find side, and it's a pink deer for $5. I did end up picking that up for my own Christmas display, since, you know, I do typically just do vintage resale. I did, however, spot this awesome lady hand/head vase. I thought it was quite unique with the hand and the face in front of it. I do believe it was marked 20 though. And my mom actually picked up this great mug for my stepfather. He loves some ceramics. And I did spot some country yumpkins. Also this bird, I thought that was older. But look at little sweetie pea, I should say. Oh my gosh. I mean, who doesn't love some anthropomorphic fruit plush from the 80s? I know I do. Also a really cute bear. And a bunch of ceramic trees, an awesome blow mold Santa. He was about $200, so can't even attempt to touch him for resale. As I pan on over to some ceramics, I did spot this sweet gal, which I didn't end up picking her up, unfortunately, the little Bo Peep. She had too much damage on her flower trimming. Unfortunately at $12 and I think like 20% off, I can't do anything with her. Now, however, one thing that always gets me excited are old Barbie cases. So this one was an older one, being the trunk. Really, really fun. I think it was marked 28, which it had some damage on the handle and a lot of wear in it. So too much for resale. I try to find those when I do pick them up, next to nothing, dirt cheap, TBH. unless it's a rare one I haven't seen. But I am scanning on over to some more salt and pepper shakers. Honestly, nothing that like stands out to me too significantly. Nothing too kitschy there. I did spot this UNESCO prayer set, which I thought was pretty fantastic. And more Barbie cases. So I've actually been on the hunt for this mod Francine Barbie case. For $28, for a collector, it's really not a bad price, especially since it was in pretty decent shape. Now, did somebody say Christmas? Oh my goodness. We are panning on over. Don't mind the cute little rubber face Santa at 40. Can't do too much with him though. My mother did spot out these awesome little caroler figurines at 12 for the set, but you know, like I had mentioned, I'm not trying to pick up too many fragiles currently on the trip. And of course, I had to show off the little rubber face Santa again. Oh my gosh, I love them. I did spot this quirky little pull toy, though I did end up looking up similar comps and it was pretty much right on the money for that. Though I did stumble into some vintage clothing, which I always have to look through. Granted, most of it was 80s and I mostly do 70s and earlier, but you know, always gotta look. And of course, you know, I go for the vintage plush at the Pink Panther, really cute. Nothing too rare there, though I do spot a sweet little Cupid, or I should say my mother did. And for, I think he was 10 plus a sale, I did end up picking him up because honestly, I can't keep Cupids on the shelves usually. And if they're for the right price and they're damaged, the Cupids, I will pick them up still just to craft with or give them a makeover or something because they're just too cute. Backstory, my former dog, RIP, his name was Cupid, so near and dear to my heart, though I do spot this awesome cookie jar. I did flip over the lid and it had a bunch of damage to the little spikes, unfortunately, so put it away and did spot this awesome little, I think it was January angel. And all right, you guys, I think from what the find of the day was honestly the Santa for $25. This guy is made out of plywood from the 50s. He was in, you know, rougher shape, but for the price of $25, we had to pick him up. Granted, I won't be shipping him. He'll probably actually be coming to live with our own Christmas display because of how terrific he was. I think he was like, close to 6 feet. He was pretty awesome. And I did spot some more Christmas kitsch. Sweet little Cupid all decked up for Christmas. He was, I think, 40 something for him. Really sweet. And of course, some more nylon winged angels, which I always am a huge fan of. If you can find their wings in decent shape and them for a decent price, it's a match made in cuteness, honestly. I did, however, love some of these ornaments. Really, really fun to look at. But again, I'm not trying to pick up too many fragiles. And spot over to, little mouse with mushroom. And again, another little nylon winged angel. Between those and the little pixie elves, that is all of what my Christmas tree in my room consists of, TBH. I did spot some more little mini snowmen, mini things, but this booth honestly was pretty much right on the money for retail and no discounts. And you guys, I wanted that hanger so bad, but they're never for sale. Like I was saying, moving on through, headed to Grandma's for the week for Thanksgiving. Speaking of, I did spot a bunch of these little treat soaps, little handmade pieces by somebody out there with a creative eye. And we do see some more glass cases with those awesome figurines. Again, all too beautiful and fragile for taking on this trip. Which I guess I could mail them back, but that's too much effort for being gone a week. But I did spot, again, another toy booth. Most of it was newer toys, but I did spot this awesome tin Barbie lunchbox at $24, right about on the mark for that. And scanning on over to more inbox gals, some knickknacks, tchotchkes. I did spot little Pepper, Tammy's sister, in there. And let's see, what else is there in this booth? Some bears, FAO Schwartz bears, little Penny Bright doll for $10. That's about retail for her. Again, and some newer little dolls, but these guys were actually older. These little wild animal, they were quite quirky. They were little animals on wheels. I think they were from like 60s, 70s. Really interesting. You would just kind of pull them and they'd follow along. But they had a few animals, as you can see. Really fun. More like dime store toys back in the day. Though I did spot this awesome lamb lamp, which, oh my gosh. I've seen pictures of this one before, but have never found it in the wild. So I did end up picking it up. Granted, probably won't make the biggest profit out of it, but it was cute. Though I did spot some bags of Christmas ornaments. I do keep in mind I always am crafting with stuff, so do pick up some of those. Panning on over, I really liked this selection. She had some old dolls, mostly bisque and composition, mostly pre-50s. But I did like how she strung some in a Christmas tree. I thought that was pretty clever. And of course, I did spot this cute little horseman doll from the 60s, but she was like, I think 82, so can't do anything with her. And these cute little angel guys at 18. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't walk out with a lot of stuff for resale in this antique mall, but it was still, of course, fun to look at. You never know what you're gonna find, but not the kitsch I was looking for initially, but that's okay. I say that until I pan on up over to the lady head vases. Oh, sweet little collection there. But it's funny, as you visit different states, you kind of see what is popular in each one. And I did spot a good amount of a collection of Kewpies, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, above eBay prices. So again, I wasn't able to pick up anything, not even from my own collection, but really fun to look at. And if you are a fan of lady head vases, I do have a couple in my Etsy shop currently, so go check those out. I do love looking at them though. And of course, look at this humongous collection of Fisher-Price Little People toys. Oh my gosh, so cool to see. These guys were so colorful and so fun back in the day. It's really, really quite the treat seeing all of them in one collection, as you can see here. Even the little shoe. Aw, they didn't look too happy to be living in a shoe. I did, however, see something that caught my eye in this case. Of course, the little nautical vintage shaker set and the very whimsical little cigarette holders. So I'm sure everyone's seen these guys, these vintage banks. The bunny I don't tend to see as often as the mice, but honestly never pick these guys up. They always sit for ages. But that pretty much sums up this video, you guys. There was some cooler vintage, some niche antiques, but a lot of it honestly was kind of newer stuff. Though I thought this booth was pretty awesome. Somebody was definitely a Wonder Woman fan, and boy did they love a Funko Pop. I did, however, on the way out, spot this cute little doll case for $10. And that was about it, you guys. Of course, we walked out with the big Santa. He, I thought, was awesome. And until the next video, you guys, new ones coming soon in the rest of my stay in Virginia. Like and subscribe. Links in the bio. Bye.